We just got a whole bunch of insane new details about the upcoming MCU X-Men reboot movie, including story details, who they want as the main villain, and some casting rumors on who could play our new MCU X-Men. And we officially have our director for this movie, and all I really gotta say is, this shit made something to me! And man, you know what? Play my theme music. Either way, me and you know what we gotta do. We gotta talk about it. And this first piece of news comes to us directly from Variety, who are confirming that Jake Schreier will officially be the director for the upcoming MCU X-Men reboot movie. Now, in case you're unfamiliar with Jake Schreier's game, he just directed Thunderbolts for the MCU, and despite the fact that movie didn't do that great at the box office, it was extremely well received because Jake Schreier just understands how to take care of characters. And if he was able to do that with the Thunderbolts, just imagine what he's able to do with the X-Men. I don't know about you, but I feel just like Alexi. Because after watching Thunderbolts, Jake Schreier just gets it. He understands that these movies need to be character focused. Give us a reason to care for each of these characters and why they're coming together to form a new team. He just proved himself that he can put together a team like the Thunderbolts or the New Avengers, so why not have him be the one that puts together the first X-Men team? Plus, I also recently found out that Jake Schreier's from the Bay Area. And between him and Ryan Coogler, they've been putting on for the city for real. Given the practicality and deeper thematic elements of Thunderbolts, I really hope that Jake Schreier just brings back everyone that worked on this project too, because they need to nail the X-Men. They're going to be the ones leading this next saga after Secret Wars. And they need to, because if we're honest, the X-Men is probably the most popular superhero team in Marvel Comics history. But not only that, in this same Variety article, it's speculated by Variety that this MCU X-Men reboot movie could be releasing in 2028, on top of a few other movies. So this most likely means that the MCU X-Men are going to be a part of the new saga of the MCU moving forward, and honestly, they could make multiple phases out of the X-Men's Rogues Gallery in general. And I can't wait for the Mutant Saga. And expect the X-Men roster to be a little bit different, but also feel very familiar. As Kevin Feige said, you'll probably see a mix of new characters and characters you've never seen before. We've known for a long time now that after Avengers Secret Wars, Marvel Studios is going to reboot their new MCU universe with the X-Men in the forefront. So out with the Multiverse Saga, in with the Mutant Saga. And up until recently, all we knew is that they were writing a script. But now more so than ever, we just got a whole bunch of new news. And remember, this isn't for the OG Fox X-Men that are going to show up in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. This is for the rebooted again X-Men that is officially going to be from the MCU. And in my humble opinion, and I'm sure a lot of you out there can agree with me, the X-Men are Marvel's best team and their most important team. But on top of this, we also got a little taste, little teases of what the story's going to be about, starting off with who the main villain of this X-Men movie is going to be. Because according to reliable industry insider Daniel RPK, in the first draft for the upcoming MCU X-Men movie, the main villain is Nathaniel Essex, aka Mr. Sinister. And all I gotta say is I used to pray for times like this. He's one of the most intriguing and fucked up villains in X-Men lore, having played an integral and crucial role in the X-Men 97 series and the X-Men animated series from the 90s, but we've never seen him in live action. There's always just been little teases of him. And Mr. Sinister is a fucking problem. He was once a highly allotted geneticist who, thanks to Apocalypse, was drawn mad, and now he's just got this obsession with mutant evolution. And actually, in the comics, it was Nathaniel Essex who inspired the High Evolutionary to do what he did. There is no God, that's why I stepped in. And starting off with him as your main villain, a villain that we have not seen in live action, is just genius. It's perfect. But who's going to be a part of that X-Men team that he's going to go up against, and who are some of the actors that they want in these roles? Thanks to insider Jeff Snyder, he provided a little bit more context, saying that much like Sue Storm and the Fantastic Four, Marvel Studios wants to build this new X-Men team around Jean Grey the Phoenix, Scott Summers Cyclops, and Professor Charles Xavier, which, all I gotta say is duh. But much like the X-Men animated series in X-Men 97, this is a very smart trio to start off with. But let's run through some of the rumored castings that Marvel Studios is looking at. Marvel Studios really wants Daisy Edgar Jones to be their new Jean Grey. And I gotta be honest with you, this is phenomenal casting. She's been absolutely incredible in everything I've seen her in, most recently in Twisters, Fresh, Normal People. It's about time she gets that bag. Cyclops had a few actors attached, like Harris Dickerson, who was most recently in the Iron Claw, but it looks like he's gonna be too caught up playing in the Beatles movies, so it's looking unlikely for him. Jack Champion from the Scream franchise and Avatar franchise is also rumored to be playing Scott Summers. Really, really young, but it could work. Jack Champion was actually asked about this casting rumor, to which he said, it's definitely news to me. I hope it comes true because I would definitely love to play that character, but you know, rumors. But the most recent casting rumor is Patrick Schwartz, which honestly ain't that half bad. I could definitely see him saying, to me, my X-Men. Another rumored casting is Hunter Schafer as Mystique. She herself has even started to campaign for it. And I gotta keep it a stack of pancakes with you, I gotta keep it a bean. This would be one of the greatest castings of all time.
Now, my personal fan cast for Mystique has always been Ana de Armas, even more so now than ever, after all she's going to be doing with Ballerina in the John Wick universe.
Cynthia Erivo has been rumored and has expressed interest in playing Storm.
I don't really see that one happening, to be honest. Her talents are more so fit for someone who can actually, like, sing. Like, I feel like not having her use her vocals it's kind of a waste of her talent, like low key. So me personally, I want someone like Jamie Lawson, who played, funny enough, Sammy's boo thing in that movie. He wants to taste it. Shit, me too. Look at Jamie Lawson. What are we talking about? This feels like Storm. It screams Storm. And what happens to a toad when it gets hit by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else that gets hit by lightning. You feel me? And I just got hit by lightning with this fan cast. But that's just me personally. It is what it is. You feel me? I mean, I just need more beautiful black women in my movies. You know what I'm saying?
Margaret Qualley as Rogue has been one of the biggest rumored castings. I gotta be honest with you, I don't know if I could handle this one. It is kind of perfect though, and I feel like she's been doing some practice for her southern accent in the recent Coen Brothers movie she's been doing. Or I guess Coen Brother movie. But this would be a phenomenal get, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Kind of need that. Then we got Julia Butters, who's gonna be in Freakier Friday, rumored to be playing Kitty Pryde. Be honest with you, this one's also very solid. She's only 16, she's Jewish, she's basically Kitty Pryde already. And the final rumored casting we have is Trinity Jo Bliss as Jubilee. It is also rumored that Magneto could be appearing in this movie. I mean, you don't do an X-Men movie without Magneto, to be honest with you. This is just me speculating, but please just bring back Michael Fassbender. I don't think he's just the best Magneto. I think he's the best actor in the Fox X-Men franchise. And you could quote me. You smell that? Someone cooked here. To me, my X-Men, time to cook. Because we just got some insane news that Marvel Studios is looking to cast Bryan Cranston. That's right, Walter Hartwell White himself. Heisenberg, I am the one who knocks. Yeah, you heard that right. I did not stutter. Either way, me and you know what we got to do. We got to talk about it. First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. But for real, according to somewhat reliable scooper My Time to Shine Hello, Bryan Cranston is being eyed to play Charles Xavier, aka Professor X, for the upcoming MCU X-Men reboot movie. Let's go ahead and take this with a grain of salt because My Time to Shine Hello is definitely hit or miss with their scoops. But taking a step back, if this is real, no Gal Gadot, then all I gotta say is, this should be something to me. I mean, fuck it. Why not? He's bald sometimes. He was in a wheelchair in that movie with Kevin Hart, and he's just got that voice that feels like mind control. He's got that voice that feels like a trance. No, Eric, stop. I mean, obviously, on paper, this is incredible. It's not like this hasn't been a popular fan cast for years as well. I mean, there's so much art of him already as Professor X. There was that report a couple of weeks ago that they were looking to cast black actors in the role. But now with this news, it just seems like it's open to anybody. Now, like I said before, take this with a grain of salt because this same motherfucker also tweeted this, and I don't believe it for 1 second. Because they also tweeted that Daniel Day-Lewis was being eyed to play Magneto in the MCU's X-Men reboot. And I just don't believe that for 1 second, even though it would be insane casting because the man is Jewish, perfectly represents Magneto. But this man has retired in real life the same amount of times that Hawkeye has in the MCU. And he's infamously known for being a method actor, which I feel like has taken a toll on his mental health. So maybe he really is done with acting. But if he did want to come out of retirement to get that bag, I don't think any of us could blame him. Because who wouldn't want to hear, I've abandoned my Charles! I've abandoned my boy. If it's one thing I know is that Marvel Studios has to nail this MCU X-Men reboot. Regardless of who is casting the role, all I want is to make sure that they keep that core message of what the X-Men stand for, of what the mutant population stands for. They've always been an allegory for oppression, systemic racism. Like the reason this joke, which I'll get to in a second, is so funny is because it's still relevant. It's what represents the X-Men compared to other superheroes. Like when the Avengers save the day, the public is like, thank you so much. You dropped the city block on my fucking mom, but you were able to avenge her. We love you so much. The X-Men actually save her mom and keep everyone safe. No, you fucking mutie. Get out of my face. This is America. But either way, I'm curious to hear your thoughts about this rumor. You think this would be a good casting choice? Would you be excited to see Heisenberg as Professor X? So much pain. Either way, that's all the new news we got about the MCU X-Men reboot movie. My thoughts and opinions and theories. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think of all this news, thoughts, opinions, and theories? Drop a comment down below. And as always, like and follow for more.